Imagine waking up in complete darkness. Cold water surrounds you. The floor has become the ceiling. The ship you are working on has sunk to the bottom of the ocean. You cannot swim out. You cannot call for help. And every breath you take uses a little more of the air keeping you alive. Most people would survive only minutes. Somehow, one man survived for nearly 3 days. This is the true story of Harrison Okene, a ship's cook who became trapped deep underwater after a vessel suddenly capsized off the coast of Nigeria. For 60 terrifying hours, he remained alone inside a sunken ship, surrounded by darkness, surrounded by death, and running out of time. On May 26, 2013, Harrison was working aboard a tugboat called the Sunken 4. The vessel operated in the Atlantic Ocean near Nigeria. It was a normal day. Nothing seemed unusual. Then, disaster struck. A powerful wave hit the vessel. Within moments, the tugboat began rolling over. Crew members were thrown violently from their positions. Equipment crashed through corridors. And before anyone could react, the ship flipped completely upside down. Then it sank. Harrison had been inside a bathroom when the vessel overturned. The force threw him through the ship. Furniture smashed around him. Water rushed through corridors. Everything became chaos. Instinctively, he felt his way through the darkness. Somehow, he found an air pocket trapped inside part of the ship. A small section that had not completely filled with water. It was the only thing that kept him alive. Hours passed. Then an entire day. There was no sunlight. No way of knowing the time. No idea if rescue was coming. The water was freezing. The darkness was absolute. Around him, he knew many of his crewmates had died. At times, he could hear sounds inside the wreck. Metal creaking, water moving, strange echoes through the ship. But he was completely alone. The air pocket slowly became more dangerous. Carbon dioxide built up. Oxygen levels fell. Each breath became harder. Harrison later described feeling dizzy and weak. He rationed his movements, tried to stay calm, and prayed, because there was nothing else he could do. The ocean above him was over 30 meters deep. Nobody had ever survived this long inside a sunken vessel before. Then, after more than 2 days trapped underwater, Harrison heard something. A faint sound, knocking. At first, he wasn't sure it was real, but it continued. Divers had arrived. They were searching the wreck for bodies. Not survivors, bodies. Because everyone believed nobody could possibly still be alive. One diver moved through the wreck, his camera recording everything. He expected another victim. Instead, a hand suddenly emerged from the darkness. The diver froze, then reached out and shook Harrison's hand. The footage became famous around the world. A moment that looked impossible. A man who should have been dead, still alive after 60 hours trapped underwater. Rescuing Harrison was not simple. His body had adapted to the pressure inside the wreck. Bringing him to the surface too quickly could have killed him. Divers carefully transported him into a decompression chamber, and over time, he recovered. Against every expectation, against every prediction, against overwhelming odds, he survived. 60 hours, complete darkness, a sinking ship, a tiny pocket of air, and a man who refused to give up, even when everyone else believed he was already dead. The ocean has claimed countless lives throughout history, but sometimes, against all logic, it gives one back.